Hi guys, it's JB here. Um, you know, when things at Turf Moor couldn't get any worse, it just has, hasn't it? Sean Dyche, um, he's becoming a joke. I thought I'd see the day I'd say this about Sean Dyche before I hit my temper, before I lose my patience. I just want to put it on record, Sean. I'll always, I'll never forget what you've done, what the great things you've done for us. But this season, you've been absolutely disgraceful as a manager. There's no discipline in the club. There's none of this. You're balls up in the transfer window. And as soon as we get somebody with transfer expertise in Mike Rigg, who's worked at Manchester City and bought the likes of Aguero and David Silva, now I'm not expecting us to buy players of that calibre, but I'm expecting about 4 or 5 through the door. And then you're going around in press conference saying that we shouldn't expect miracles. Get a fucking grip, Dyche. We need 4 or 5 players that can make the difference and keep us in the Premier League. Is that what you want us to do? Hey? Keep faith with a bunch of cloggies you've got at the moment. A captain that fucking goes around swears at fans who are paid 40 fucking quid to see an absolute fucking disgrace of the display on Monday. Right, yeah? People that don't even give a toss. Chris Wood, who can't even hit the barn door with a fucking banjo. I'm live, by the way. So if you want to comment in the comment section. I don't care what you put. It doesn't matter if you use a swear word. I'm swearing tonight. I'm that way out tonight. So I'll allow it for this once. I don't care. It's only on the commentary streams I allow no swearing. But tonight it's just, I'm just letting rip. The whole thing. I mean, I don't know. The whole football club is a shambles from top to bottom. I mean, the achievements of the last couple of years have painted over some massive cracks. I'm not heard Sean Dyche be positive once this season. He's tried every trick in the book. He's tried every excuse in the fucking book to keep the supporters on side because he knows he's in trouble right now. I got barraged on Twitter the other night for actually suggesting that Ben Mee showed no passion. Well, they were watching a different game to me because, quite honestly, yeah, I don't know. Hello, Russ. Well, what's happened is I've read something on the Burnley Express and I've put it on I put it about on Facebook, Russ, and I'll just read the thing. It's just because we've got this Mike Rigg in, and he's like he's going to be the man behind the transfers. Dyche has come out and said publicly, he said, don't expect an influx of January signings. Don't expect to actually come up with 7 players. I think he's missed the point there, Russ, because the thing I'm pissed off about, he thinks we're going to get 7 new players in. I'm not expecting us to sign 7 new fucking players in January. I'm expecting us to sign at least 4 or 5 to give us half a bloody chance of staying in the Premier League. Or maybe have a frigging go at the FA Cup in January. That's all I want. I don't want the world. I just want us to have a go. I mean, I'd be happy if he sold a few of the fucking cloggers today. I don't, listen, Ben Mee's been great for Burnley Football Club. Going back to Ben Mee, right? I got a dog's abuse from Darren Bentley and a few of his bum chums on Twitter the other day, saying that Ben Mee was this, that, the other, saying he was the best thing since sliced bread. He showed passion. He fucking didn't show any passion on the field. And then to go around and swear at supporters who booed him, they've got every right to vent their anger at him, and the team, because, let me just make it absolutely vehemently clear to everybody, right? To those who have never been to Burnley and don't know what the town's about, I'm just going to make this absolutely clear to you, right? Now, Burnley, for those that don't know the town, is a small town with a population of about 75,000 people. It's in East Lancashire, okay, in the northwest of England, okay. It's not a big town. It's It's a community, it's a small town, complemented by other small towns. I actually happen to live in one of them, so I'm just on the outskirts. Um, Unemployment is very, very high up in these parts, like any other northern town, like the likes of Accrington and Blackburn, things like that. So unemployment is rife in the town. There's not, it's it's got it's not a bad town centre. It's a good, the people are sort of down to earth, and down to earth people in Burnley, they really are down to earth. I mean, I've never met a bad bloke or woman down there. It's a nice town, but because everything's shut down, the cotton mills and everything out there, and we've only got the football team as its main supply, right? And the thing with Burnley Football Club is that it's supposed to be the heart of the town, the heart of the community. It's always been a community club. Now, for some reason, in the last 2 or 3 years, ever since we've got into the Premier League, and okay, fair enough. Don't tell us about any potential new signings. That's fair enough. But don't be all cork and dagger 365 days a week, 365 days a year, 52 weeks of the fucking year, because what they've got to consider, the Burnley hierarchy at the football club, that this is a small town and people want to know what's going on at the football club. The football club is the heartbeat of the fucking town. Is essentially what I'm getting at. And then, and money's obviously tight in Burnley. I mean, there's a lot of families there that have to, there's a lot of families that are having to live on benefits and all that sort of thing. And because there's no proper jobs about that, that were there like 20, 30 years ago. And so, it's all office blocks and things like that now. There's no proper skilled jobs you see anymore, sadly. And that's the problem. And the thing is, money's tight with families, and obviously the cost of living is going up. So obviously, a football ticket's now a luxury. It's like a luxury item to the people of Burnley. And these tossers are charging £35 a ticket. And the majority of, and I can tell you that half the 20,000 that turned up on Monday night were paid that 35 to 40 quid. And that's not to mention your bovril at half time and your pie and your peas and your match programme. I mean, it costs nearly upwards of 50 quid for the whole works, right? And for that 50 quid, you expect to have a team that's actually prepared to go the extra mile, try and play more than one way to play the game, or play the game two, maybe three-dimensional, and make substitutes at proper times. Now, Dyche doesn't do that. Dyche does not do that whatsoever. He won't do it. He sticks to his stupid little principles that, I don't know, he sticks to his pretty principles. He sticks to this stupid, no playing it along the deck, like any other team in the Premier League. No. It's long ball after long ball after long ball. And it's just, we might as well, when I'm watching at Turf Moor, I might as well spend my thing looking up at the clouds, because the ball's in the air half the time. Probably about 60% of the time we play a match at Turf Moor, it's like, oh, let's just watch football in the clouds, shall we? What's wrong with passing it on the deck? Triangle passes, move a ball around a bit. Okay, we're not Manchester City, we're not Man United, we're not Liverpool and all that lot, but let's have a bloody go. Let's try and think of more than one way to actually try and break teams down. And a part of the problem is Sean Dyche. Some of the signings he's made, you look at Chris Wood. Do we need him? A year or two ago, Chris Whiteman was right what he was saying it a year ago. And most of you lot probably will tune into this video, psyched him off and forced him into hiding for a year. Now, I'm not against Sean Dyche in any way, shape, or form. What he's achieved at the football club is what we could have dreamt of in our wildest dreams. I get that, and I understand that side. But there's going to come a time where the shell life is going to finish. And I think it's coming towards a very, very sudden halt for Sean Dyche. I really do. And I hate to say this, but I think I think he has to go. I really do think he has to go, because the brand of football he's playing is awful. You know, the fans have got a fucking right to boo. And if Ben Mee, and you know, and the other thing is, there's no discipline in the dressing room. He's letting the players do carte blanche, as far as I'm fucking concerned. They're fighting amongst themselves in the changing rooms. Apparently, there was shenanigans in the changing rooms between James Tarkowski, Ben Mee, and to a certain extent Joe Hart the other night. It's a sad state of affairs. There's something not right about the football club. I really do, and we need the players. I want us to have a go, and I don't particularly enjoy having to make these videos because I absolutely love the football club. I love the football club. It's my, you know, I mean, they're my, you know, they're probably an honest bunch of guys, but when they're, you know, it's all right to show passion when it's too late. It's all right to show passion, but when it's coming, when it's coming after 20 minutes and you're 2-0 down, you know, serious fucking questions have to be fucking asked of the management, the board, and the board are not to blame in all this. Mike Garlick has been a fucking arsehole of a chairman. I've got to be honest with you. He hasn't done enough. I mean, they should have, right, that Mike rig, right, it's a good move. Don't get me wrong. It's great for Burnley. We needed somebody like him. But we should have fucking got him in back in May when we sealed the 7th place and got into Europe. Then we should have appointed a technical director. But no. Our board and manager are so behind with the fucking times. They're so one-directional, one-dimensional. They decide, oh, no, we'll do it ourselves. And in the end, we've ended up panic buying Ben Gibson, Matteo Vedra, who we don't even fucking give a chance to, and Joe Hart. A lot of people blaming Joe Hart for what's going on. The only reason Joe Hart came to Burnley was because Nick Pope got the injury at Aberdeen. And I think that's one of the reasons why. I think people missed that bigger picture with that, because we didn't know how long Pope was going to be out for. We didn't know how long Heaton was going to come back in for. And obviously, he has to prove himself to be, you know, Dyche fit. And that's another fucking issue I've got. You have to be Dyche fit now to play for Burnley Football Club. It's a frigging joke. Now, I love Sean Dyche. I'm not going to knock what he's done to get us into Europe and all that. Brilliant. But you can't rest on your laurels on past glories. You've got to focus on the here and now. And what I'm seeing so far, we're 4th from bottom. We're stuck behind fucking teams like bloody Brighton and Wolves who show ambition, you know, who want to move up the table and finish as high as they can. And I want to see that with Burnley. I don't want to see a stress. I don't want to be stressed out all the time. You know, okay, we're never going to have a season like last season ever again. You know, it was a one-off. I accept that, and I will always accept that. But what I'm not accepting is the substandard performances of certain players, the likes of Ben Mee, the likes of Chris Wood. You know, people like that. Charlie Taylor hasn't had a good season either. We are missing Stephen Ward. I mean, Lennon hasn't been playing his best either. You know, Brady's coming back to fitness. I mean, the substitutions the other night. Why take off Stephen Defoe and Robbie Brady, two of your best creative set-piece specialists, and then bring on Ashley Barnes and I forget who else he replaced him with, but it wasn't a very good thing. Russ, I wonder if Federer will be like go with January at the end of the season. Well, either way, he's got to start playing him because why waste 11? I don't think he'll go in January. I'll be very surprised if he did, Russ. Why would you spend 12 million quid otherwise? If you're going to spend 12 million quid on the play, you've got to fucking give him a chance. Now, Vidra, when he's come in and done a job, or he's come on as a sub or started games, he's actually done really well. He's scored goals. He's actually creating goals. He's making chances. Whereas the likes of Henrik hadn't. The likes of Wood are not bothering. You know, we've gone with two big lumps up front, and it is not working. You don't go with two similar strikers. If you're playing 4-4-2, I would have actually started Vidra and Barnes because first of all, Barnes is a battering ram, and he would have made it very, very hard for the Newcastle defence, considering who they were. They had no Jamal Lascelles there. And I thought, you know, if we got Barnes in there, he would absolutely tear their defenders to shreds. And I thought they would have, you know, and I would have played Vidra alongside him. But I'm not the manager, unfortunately. I mean, it's easy for me to come around and say, yeah, Yeah, it was Henrik. Jeff Henrik. Yeah, thanks for reminding me, Russ. But listen, I don't know what's going on. I mean, listen, we didn't take the European tour seriously enough. I still think we should have at least qualified for the group stages. Forgetting the piss poor refereeing from in Athens in the first leg against Olympiacos, forgetting that, so we should have easily breezed it to the group stages of the Europa League. And part of me feels a bit jealous about that still. But I honestly thought at the time, I believe what Dyche said. I thought going out the Europa League would actually help us with the league form. And he's so defiant and he just doesn't know. He's not honest enough. He lies to us. He says there's fine margins. There was no fine margins. And he's totally losing the plot. I'm very sorry. I'm just very fed up. Right, there you go. But I'll tell you something now. His future at the football club rides on the game at Selhurst on Saturday. Now, this is an all or nothing match on Saturday. Because if we don't win this, then his future's got to be severely questioned. Whether he should continue as Burnley manager, because you know, if it was any other manager at any other club and they were on a bloody horrendous run of form like that, you've just got to ask Fulham. You know, they got rid of Jukanovic because of the results. Doesn't matter what style of football you play, it's a results business. And what you achieved before that, he got Fulham into the Premier League at I think in his first full season there. You know, tremendous achievement. But then he's got to go and back that up in the league. You think Leicester City, I mean, yeah, Russ hits the nail on the head here with this comment. He says only fine margins that Newcastle could have had more goals. Well, the fine margins are if Richie scores from a yard out instead of misses, that's 3-1. If Joselu doesn't hit the post and that hits the right-hand corner in the net, they go on to win 4-1. That's the fine margins we're talking about. Sean Dyche is talking a completely different booking game to what we've seen. So therein lies the problem. If you haven't seen the live stream and you're watching this back, let me know what you think Burnley need to do in January in the comment section below. And you think Dyche has got one game left to save his job? I really do think he has. And incidentally, you'll be able to hear full match commentary of the match on Saturday from 3 o'clock live on the JB Clark YouTube channel. And obviously, for obvious reasons, we will not have the chat facility in operation because I'll be very busy concentrating on the actual match commentary. And obviously, I'll be going through all the other results as well. So that's one of 3 live commentaries. We'll have the late game for you on Saturday night as well, following this game with Chris Whiteman. And, of course, we'll have the North London derby from the Emirates with me at 1:30 on Sunday afternoon. I think it might be 2 o'clock kickoff, actually. You'll be able to hear that the North London derby with me on Sunday. So plenty of live football again to come on the JB Clark YouTube channel. Hope you can join us all then. But for me, at this moment in time, have a fantastic evening. And I'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.